Hi, everybody. Welcome to the QB School. I am JT O'Sullivan. Today, Brock Purdy, week 2 versus the Rams on the road. Nice win. Let's get it going. Welcome to the QB School. Before we dive into the video, a quick reminder about the Quarterback School Patreon community. This group is the foundation, the bedrock of this channel. Not only is it a great way to support the channel, but you get even more Quarterback School content. So if you enjoy how I talk and teach ball, you will love the Quarterback School Patreon community. The link is in the video description. Hop over there, become a member. I appreciate your support. As for this video, let's get into it. All right, Brock Purdy, nice win versus the Rams in LA. Love the anticipation right here up top. Wonderful base, great anticipation and accuracy. Ayuk staying hot here as he's healthy early in this thing. Again, look at the base. That's outstanding. Ripping it. Wait till I show you the anticipation as well. Just a thing of beauty. Just so much to like in this intermediate game for Brock Purdy. I mean, look at when he lets this thing go. I mean, up top on like a little comeback. Y'all, that's outstanding. We're still in single-digit starts, right? That is dealing. That is, I mean, you know what? I'm not going to do it, but I want to. Write it on the screen. Capital A, underline, bold, italicized. Let's go. Outside the numbers too? Hell yes. That's great. And again, you couple it for me with the base element of it. Look how powerful it is. All his cleats in the ground. There's no heel click. He's lined up to his target. It's awesome, man. Good on you. Big chunk. Let's go. Next one here, 3rd and 7. Again, hitting Ayuk. This time he's up top, the number 2 in the slot. A little outside release, getting held in. You know, this looks like one where it potentially came up a little lame. Again, I love how the base that Brock Purdy's playing with. It's just simply outstanding, y'all. I can't, say enough good things about it. I love the little switch release here from the top. So we'll pull this thing. Here's Ayuk. He's going to outside release, bite through, getting collision the whole time, and then run this little like wrap in. It sure looks like it's paired with a choice from the backfield here. You know, whether that's a pivot hitch or just a true choice where they're reading that thing 1 to 2. You can see the space, how that thing works. I'll show exactly when he lets it go too with a little lowercase a. So a little return here from McCaffrey out there. Get that in. Look at him lined up to the left. Wading as he gets held. It's definitely a penalty. Should be. Just a beautiful job. Really love the base here from Purdy. Again, lined up to his left. Boom. I mean, it looks just so calm, right? And powerful. Loaded. Nice strike. Next one here, a little play action. Split flow action. We're going to hit the drift post to 19 here. The new number 2 to the bottom. Work Debo right over the ball. Again, this thing to me shows off a few things from Purdy. Again, the base, the quick release, the decisiveness. Matching it with the split flow action. You can see it open up between the hashes here. Just a really nice job of using this motion. And we're coming down. We get that split flow motion. Everybody seemingly has been all over this in the league for a while. Split flow action. Come downhill with the back. We're now going to rip that drift post right here. So up, under control, and then into this space. And again, it helps when it's vacated by any sort of pressure here. So you got this big void. The thing that I love from Purdy here is just the base. It's perfect. There's anywhere near a heel click. He's ready to go. That allows you to rotate and be so quick with your torque. Whoom. I mean, he's got to get that thing up and down or he's going to run him into a collision here. When's he let that thing go? Maybe a little bit of A, half A. Light A, pencil A. That split flow action. Whoom. Again, just the efficiency of the lower half. Fake, lined up, all your cleats in the ground, right up on him. That's outstanding, man. Just surgical. Next one here. Really like this design. Stolen straight from the Miami Dolphins with the McDaniel fast short motion, although it's not necessarily as fast as Miami runs it. But I love what it does, the stress it puts on a defense. You can see McCaffrey go. Again, the base, all his cleats in the ground. It's not the hardest throw in the world. And I think, if I was coaching anything to do with the perimeter here, I would say that this motion is better when it's 1,000 miles an hour. So you gotta just burst. You can't kind of like, I would consider this like running, but not like burst out of like, your 100-meter start. You pair it with this little slant right here, and it just creates so many issues on the back end here. Like, how do you handle this motion? Tight end in the back, going 1,000 miles an hour, horizontal and a vertical stretch. Yo! The edge defender, no way you can handle that guy in space. It's outstanding. Just nice design, and it's a perfect example of seeing an offense run something like that. Week 1, we put it in week 2. Nice little chunk. Next one here, this is a shame. Big time double move up top by Ayuk. I think this is more like in and go versus sluggo. I mean, it's just so open. You just, man, what a shame to miss that and miss it with a foul ball. It's one thing to underthrow it. It's another to not even give him a chance. So for me here, a few things. I think he could potentially like not look over there so quickly. Not that you're looking someone off, but it sure feels like he looks over there quickly. He's then going to move off the launch point a little bit. I don't think he does himself any favors with the footwork, and we'll talk about it. It's one of those things where, man, sometimes I feel like you can overthink these, overanalyze these things. It's a great route. That's what it is. It's a shame to miss it with what I'm going to call as a foul ball. If anything, I prefer these things underthrown and you allow your guy to go make a play. I think footwork-wise here for me, his base has been so good when it's on time in rhythm. So now this isn't. So now he's got to move. When he moves, you see his feet come together. And okay, I'm not saying you always keep a perfect base as you move around back here and you're like a robot. But when you come together like that, sometimes when you then go to throw again, you get out of your normal, powerful lower half. And you get a little wide, you get a little tight. You're not as consistent. The thing flies on you. So just watch the footwork here at the back. So see how that base is perfect? Then he goes to move, boom, and they come together. So it's going to come together sometimes when you have to make a violent movement off your landmark. It's not always going to be perfect. But you've got to kind of like find it again as opposed to being rushed to run out of club, and now you overshoot it. These are one of those ones when you win and you miss these deep shots. It's like, oh, that's a bummer. It would have been a great day if I could have hit some of these big shots. When you play probably better teams in more meaningful games where more people are watching, this now becomes a big problem. So it's something certainly to pay attention to. Again, just, I'm always going to be a stickler on this movement right there. I think it makes your life so difficult. Now, it's going to happen sometimes. I just don't know if it has to happen here. And then that thing just comes out a little flat and far. Damn. Next one here. Put this one on here because I love seeing quarterbacks throw when they're hot. Get it out of your hand, not take a hit, make it clean. It's certainly good when you can get it to that guy in space. So a little ghost motion here for me behind the quarterback. We're hot to the right. Right tackle's got a big duel. It doesn't have to be fancy. Just get it out of your hand. Let your playmakers make plays in space. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about this little swing. I'll call it a swing or a wide. Okay, that's our hot route. Okay, back in the day, I used to like to draw 2 lines through my hot route. Made an H. Okay, you're welcome. Now, why are we hot? Our right tackle here has got a big duel. That means he's protecting the inside gap. He's really got 2 people. He's got 1 or 2, whoever he thinks is the bigger threat. If both of these people blitz, one of them is going to be unblocked. Hopefully it's the wide one, the long track, and we're able to throw hot. So it's just this is how quarterbacking is supposed to look. I just think it's impressive that Brock Purdy's making it look easy. There's nothing easy about that. It's one of those things where you see guys all the time miss hots, not have answers. He has answers. He's polished. He's decisive. He puts it right on him. Let's go. All right, next one here. Nice little seam to the slot down here to the bottom. The throw looks like it's a little bit behind him, but he throws it with such anticipation. Again, sometimes these things are going to happen. You're not going to put it exactly where you want all the time. He's actually hot. So, kind of a unique, cool look here. Not something I would say you'd want to do all the time. But if we're going to rip this, what I'm going to call is a seam down here to the slot, right here, and we're going to throw it with what I'm going to say is anticipation from this drop. We've got a free runner from depth be it, in the B gap. So you've got to take your drop and get the ball out before he gets home. And it's just a really nice job. This is not a throw you see very often from anybody. I mean, he's got great feel. See how he kind of like slides away from it? And again, when he lets this thing go, look at the anticipation. Right there, he's separated. The seam is not into the seam yet. That's a nice catch, body control, certainly behind him. But I mean, you got a free runner. You're throwing a seam hot? It's pretty awesome. God damn. Good on you, Brock Purdy. Just dealing, man. When he's so decisive. And that's a hell of a catch as well. Don't get me wrong. I mean, right there, turning like that, making that play. But I can't imagine throwing a seam like this hot with a free runner running right at you in the B gap. And he buys enough time, like shading to his left. That's awesome. For me, this is a bit of a missed opportunity for a touchdown pass to the bottom. 19 is going to go from the 1 to the new 2 post shift. He's going to run to the corner. I think the corner on defense down here to the bottom probably makes a mental error. Doesn't get deep. Brock Purdy sees it, but the ball comes out a little high, a little soft. Maybe catches a gust. Again, he's got color right in his face. I'm not saying it's an easy throw. In fact, I think it's impressive that he even sees it because it probably shouldn't be there. And I know it's a penalty. Okay, so it's going to work out eventually. But the fact that this corner at the bottom of the screen, so right here, I'm going to guess that he probably should be getting depth the whole time because he and what I'm going to say the flat defender, they're in kind of the same space. So when we come out here and run this kind of deep corner and you pair it with the number 3 running a vertical as well to the middle of the field, it's certainly there. I don't think there's anything easy about this throw because he's got this big cap bearing down on him. You see all this color right in your face. You kind of got to buy enough time and then chuck it up. He just gets a little bit too much air under it, and the corner is able to kind of recover and be a penalty, though. Just want to throw it. When you're that wide open, you almost want to throw it right at him as opposed to fade away. Yes, he gives him a shot. Yes, it's good vision. Yes, it's a penalty. I get it. But it's really a missed opportunity for a touchdown pass if he throws it how you'd love to. And if you hold up at right guard here, the right guard is on a one-on-one because Aaron Donald's on the left. The center's got to go help. So we lose the one-on-one. We got a backpedal retreat. Ball hangs up. Penalty. Halftime. You dig the channel and you haven't already, please like, subscribe, hit the bell, get the notifications. I sincerely appreciate you subscribing to the channel. It means a lot to me personally, so thank you for doing that. Again, the Quarterback School Patreon community, great way to support the channel, get even more Quarterback School content. We also have Quarterback School courses. These courses are by far the most premium, in-depth content available through the channel. If you like how I talk and teach ball, you will love the Quarterback School courses, really in-depth, detailed, nuanced takes on all of my favorite football subjects, RPOs, tempos, pass protections. The best-selling course is How to Beat Every Single Coverage, and we even have an entire offensive system over there. Hop over there, enroll. I appreciate it. Finally, we've got a bunch of free resources available, and make sure to follow me across social media platforms. I appreciate your support. As for this video, let's get back to it. Next one, another what probably looks like and is a missed opportunity down the field to this, what I'm going to call as a post to the new number 1 to the bottom. It's also, I can acknowledge it is a missed opportunity. We got a big chance down the field. I think it's also worth at least me saying here that Brock Purdy looks like he's kind of all over the place with his eyes. And you couple that with the fact that I don't necessarily know if I know what the read would be here. It's probably low to high on both sides, but just look at the route distribution. Everybody running out, everybody running in. Okay, so, we don't have to necessarily know what the read is. When there are plays like this, it's almost guaranteed that it would be like a half field read. So where this ball ends up going, to me, this is a funky route. Up, and he like cha-cha-cha-cha-cha, and then goes. So it's not like a true, I think of like true big post as like you're running like a track meet and you set it as high as you can and you go 1,000 miles an hour. That's not what this is. Then you couple that with whatever this is, okay? Then we'll say, I'm going to say in here, same type of thing up here. I mean, maybe this is like a thing on Madden I've just never seen before, but I don't understand how to read this other than say high to low, pick a side. I'm not sure what would make one side better than the other. It sure looks from the back like Brock Purdy is working this way first, and then his eyes come here kind of late, and he sees this thing pop, and he sky mails it. So again, this to me, just this picture, okay, this screenshot, snapshot, to me is why I don't love what they do, the 49ers, in their drop back game. This to me looks like nothing anyone else in the league runs. It just doesn't. All four people running towards each other, I'm not familiar with it. Now, maybe those are like choice routes or option routes that just work themselves out to be all in the same direction. But I don't think so. I mean, Samuel and Kittle are cutting pretty hard in. Just, it doesn't make sense to me. Just because it doesn't make sense to me doesn't mean that it's not good for them or not. I don't know. Maybe they're cutting edge here on what drop back looks like. But you can see Purdy, he's looking to the right, right? So he's looking to the right. Now he comes back to the left and like sees it flash and sky miles it. So, I mean, it's one of those things where he doesn't look comfortable. I'm not comfortable looking at it. I can't make sense of it, but it's another missed opportunity at the end of the day. Next one here, another nice in to Ayuk down here to the bottom. He's the number 2. Little shuffle motion. We're going to run a choice with McCaffrey. Just high-low him or low-high him. Again, really nice job from Brock Purdy taking advantage of that middle square. Also helps when Thor blitzes. But he's able to kind of work that middle area. You can see all the space. Again, really nice job. I really like this design. So if I'm going to come at some of the drop back stuff, talk about what I like about it, don't necessarily love this, whatever that shuffle motion is, but unique. Okay, so we're going to get what I call as a choice here or an option. It's paired with what a lot of people I think would call mills, which is an in or a basic and a post, kind of a quarters killer. So if this safety were ever to get, chumped down on this and this wouldn't be open, you'd have this post opportunity. So you probably just kind of like peek this thing versus quarters maybe, but really it's probably 1 to 2. And again, anytime you get a void from a linebacker type here, you're going to get a great opportunity to rip that thing right over the ball. So just a really nice job from Brock Purdy. Cool design. And everybody loves, no one's going to not love getting the ball to McCaffrey on an option or a choice. Ayuk, all sorts of space because they respect his vertical speed. It's a nice hit. Again, the only thing I would add with the motion is if you could just find some way to make it faster. It's not that it's, not the end of the world to go from pistol to offset, but I mean, you're running from 10 yards deep. Next one here, 3rd and 7. This is a rough miss, man, to the bottom. Post, probably should be a touchdown. Again, when you win and you miss, these aren't that big of a deal. But, later in the year, more important games, these are massive misses. For my money here, I think this is a nice job of Brock Purdy getting through this read because I don't think there's anything pre-snap that says this post is going to be here. So what I mean by that is if we're trying to run what I think is just an iteration of what the Chiefs have done forever, just with a new kind of way to do it. So these little like arrow routes up top. So both coming in, both coming out, good man runaways. We got another good man runaway here. And then you pair it with a big post down here to the bottom. Okay, middle field closed. There's nothing to me pre-snap that says, yeah, we're going to get a post opportunity. He's really going, I think, 1 to these 2 here, and then 3, this thing pops. And the reason it pops is because the middle field player comes down on Kittle on that crosser. So once he kind of tries to cut this thing, we end up getting like a double on Kittle, and it creates that huge void in the middle of the field. So it's a nice job from Purdy getting there. Acknowledge that. Like, I don't think that, a lot of guys could even get there. So no, yes. And, I talk a lot about this on this channel. When you set this post here, I'm not sure that 19 is running as hard as he possibly could. That's just me. I don't think it matters with this throw. But when the wide receiver sets this post, and every post is going to be a little bit different in every system, but once he sets it here, you really, really, really want to try to miss to this side. Any sort of miss over here is going to be much more difficult for him to kind of baseball turn into that, like Willie Mays Hayes it. It's a lot easier to kind of flatten it. And yeah, you might not score, but it's still a massive play. Now, a perfect throw obviously is right down the seam, right? Like right down the stem, right down his line. But I mean, at this point, these misses down the field are like an epidemic this game. Just brutal. It should be an absolute just track meet. And we're missing these things. And they're all long foul balls too. They're like the ball is coming out flat. I will also say, it's not easy to go from 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way to the backside post, but just watch his feet. That's about as unsettled as you see from Brock Purdy. Right. And I still don't think it's that bad. I just think they don't look quite as calm and decisive as they normally do when he's ripping it on time, smooth. Dang, that's a shame, man. Next one here, another Miami Dolphins kind of stolen Ace Ventura theme here. We're just copycatting their plays, kind of a slow burst up top. If I had to guess, I would say that Debo cuts this route short. Now, the ball is not where you want it to be, but the reason it looks like late behind him is because I think he probably cuts it short on what is a deep in. We're changing the landmark. We're moving to our right. Feels like you got to get it up and down. I've already talked about this quite a bit, but I'll mention it again. I bet that they're saying this in their building. This has got to be 1,000 miles an hour. It can't be like 90% running. It can't be like almost your full speed. It's got to be full speed, get your correct depth while you're going full speed and into the space. It's all about using your speed to be able to keep that thing going. If you cut it short, so say you cut it short here, when you cut it short, all you're doing is kind of closing your window. So if the window is from the top of the numbers, we'll say halfway, and you cut it short, by the time the quarterback's ready to throw it, you're already out the window. So you got to get to your depth and realize where we're trying to attack, because if we're taking an angle, 5-step drop, and you're already going to be there fast enough. So you'd have to err on like the plus side of the yardage. It just looks like they just stole the motion and don't realize the nuance tethered to it. So I would say if he pushes that much closer to 50, where's the ball? The ball's on the 29. So you push that thing up to the 49 as opposed to the 44. And again, I'm just speculating based on the timing of the depth and how most people in the league run deep ends, especially Dagger. Again, to me, he runs through the hole. It's still a nice job. I think it's really cool. What you're stealing from your friends, that's honestly not a knock. That's how the league works. It's a nice little wrinkle with the angle motion. Call that thing as soon as Aaron Donald's out of the game. Pull the guard. Still a nice little chunk if you caught it. I love that motion too. Damn. Next one here. We're trying to get the leak to 15. So come across in the shift, get to 2x2, split flow play action, shallow, 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 go. The Rams do a nice job sniffing it out. We end up throwing essentially like a back shoulder leak. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. I like it. Still a one-on-one. 15 versus 14 there. Brock Purdy doing a nice job giving his guy a chance. Again, no long foul ball. Give your guy a shot, go up and make the play. That sure looks like it could be a penalty as well. Big time play. So design-wise here, you can see 15 as he comes across and gets set. I think most times, depending on who this guy is, usually this is going to be a little bit more blocky and then leak out. This to me is almost like air raidy spike where you just run a shallow and then go. It's a little faster, I think, than normally. I don't know if it matters because 14 sniffs it out the whole way, but if you kind of block there, it might be a little bit different. And then again, really nice job from Brock Purdy giving his guy a shot. Go up and make a play when you get your opportunity. Again, I love the aggressiveness, the play call. Again, you can see how they're running kind of in parallel right there. That's back shoulder. Throw it right at him. Go up and make a play. It's a big time contested catch too. Love it. Last one here, 3rd and 3. We're going to be hot. He gets the ball out to McCaffrey. They're just not on the same page. This looks like an option route or a Texas fan, and Purdy thinks he's going to the flat. McCaffrey reads it like he's going to take it to the short post or the Texas. He's hot. I love Brock Purdy not taking a hit here, getting the ball out. Again, one of my favorite things about Brock Purdy is he is decisive. If you think back to how Garoppolo got hurt last year, off the top of my head, I think they had 19 in the backfield, running what I thought was a choice from the backfield. So he came up and was like waiting for him and then running out of it eventually. They're just not on the same page. So he's coming up and running what I'm used to calling a Texas or an angle. it looks like Brock Purdy expects him to run flat. So flat to me is like get to the line of scrimmage and then we're out. You're my hot outlet. And it could be a choice. That could be their built-in hot adjustment, but we're getting zeroed here. So pretty easy to see zero across the board. In fact, for my money, the Rams bust this coverage because no one covers McCaffrey. If they were on the same page, this is a walk-in. But I love the fact that Purdy sees it. You can't fool 13, man. He sees it. He gets the ball out. He is decisive. They might not be on the same page, but I personally think that's a really good sign. That's a great incompletion. You're hot. You know you're hot. We got a free runner. The free runner is the widest guy to the right. I mean, we're really hot off both sides. We've only got 5 protecting. They're bringing 7. That's why the coverage is blown. Someone's a peeler on the back. They're just not on the same page. So close. So that is a wrap. Brock Purdy, nice win on the road, in the league. Anytime you're going to take that. That being said, certainly missed some opportunities down the field. Now, in a game like this where no one's really watching, not the biggest moments in the world, fine. I think as we get further along in the season and the 49ers are playing in bigger games, these are the types of misses that really haunt you. You know, obviously think of Jimmy, those types of things. Those are easy comparisons. For me, though, the things that I love about Brock Purdy, he can apply it to those deeper throws. He's so good at the intermediate short stuff. I love how he plays hots. I think he throws with great anticipation for a guy who hasn't played a lot of NFL football. He's got a great base. He's got a great feel. He's super decisive. He's accurate. Those things can all be applied to the deeper stuff. You just got to be able to acknowledge the pattern. We're missing everything long, everything flat. We need more touch. We got to give our guys a chance. You can do that, I think, by, bringing that same base that you play with and everything else to the deeper throws and just giving our guys an opportunity and realizing we don't want to miss deep. We want to give our wide receivers a chance to go make a play for us. And if you ever add that deep ball accuracy to it, whoo, my goodness, this offense is already dynamic, and especially with how they scheme things open and take advantage of really great weapons on the perimeter at damn near every offensive unit. You couple that with a deep ball threat, it's going to be pretty awesome. Thank you so much for hanging to the end. I will see you next time. Have a good one.